What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I am not your mama. Do your own research, all right? Hit that subscribe button, like the video. Wanted to make another video. I made another purchase this morning. I wanted to talk about these two stocks a little bit that I've bought, and maybe just talk about a little bit about the market in general. This morning I bought T-Mobile at 120. I bought 12 shares of that. I've been watching T-Mobile for a long time. I've liked that stock for a long time, and we own it in the YouTube account, the M1 Finance. We have some in there. We're down in it currently because we were buying at a higher price. It's been kind of falling, and that's why I bought it. All right, it's lost a lot of what it had earlier this year, and I just think it's a really attractive price right now. And then I saw a news story this morning. It was climbing in the pre-market, and there was a news story about somebody raising their target to 158 or 159 or something like that, and listing it as a strong buy, changing it from outperform to a strong buy. And I think it's a really good price right here. I like T-Mobile over AT&T and Verizon because I don't really care for dividend stocks. But both AT&T and Verizon are dividend stocks, and what that means is a lot of the profits that they make, they give it back to you in the form of a small dividend, okay? Whereas T-Mobile takes that money and throws it back into the company for innovation and expansion, etc., etc. And I prefer that in a stock. Dividend stocks, like if you look at AT&T, it's more or less a savings account. You know what I mean? You put your money in there and the stock never really moves. Whereas T-Mobile, the stock moves. And I'd rather have the stock move than them pay me out little dividends. That's just my preference. And I talked about this in another video. Actually, I've talked about it in a couple of videos, I believe, about T-Mobile, where I saw this coming. Okay, I've been a T-Mobile user for years, and you used to be able to get unlimited hotspot, and you can't get that anymore. And when that started happening, I started clicking to the fact that something was going on. There was a reason for that. And then I talked about, before they launched it, I talked about how I thought they were going to start going into home internet and making you use the little box and being able to just get unlimited internet that way, and moving more into the home space than just phones. And they did launch that. It didn't get a lot of press, but I think that was a fantastic move, and I do think that the world is moving more toward wireless. And I think that like in underdeveloped areas and stuff, once there's better 5G in those areas, it'll be more efficient for you to be able to have internet wirelessly rather than to rely on them putting wires to your house, which has been on the way out. And I think that just like the whole infrastructure is moving more toward a wireless direction as we get into 5G and stuff. And being a T-Mobile user, I will tell you that it's not everywhere. Like where I'm from in Texas, it's not really that great, the 5G. But in some places where I get to, like Ohio and some of these places in the Midwest, man, I'm getting internet speeds through my phone through hotspot that are like blazing fast, like fast enough to game and stream, like high speed on that 5G stuff. So it's coming. And T-Mobile they have the largest 5G network, you know what I mean? And I can attest to the fact that in some parts of the country, that shit is fast. And so when you talk about how fast that 5G is and being able to experience it like I have, I can easily see how they move into the home market. It just might take a little while for that to catch on. But anyway, T-Mobile's been falling. It was up over 150, and I bought it at 120. And looking at the chart, when you look at the daily chart, it looks to be pretty oversold. And now that this news has come out, I mean, they're just primed for a run. So that's why I bought T-Mobile this morning, okay? PayPal, kind of a similar story. I've been using PayPal for a long time. I have the PayPal business account. I have the debit card, all that stuff, all right? And PayPal is like, although there are some up-and-comers, PayPal is like the biggest. They're the biggest, okay? And they're set to continue to grow and grow and grow. And their year-over-year growth is amazing. And they have just been plummeting. I mean, they're like at a point right now where you have to go back almost a year to find these prices. I easily see them being back up to that 310, 315 range, and I bought at 231. Now it's gone down some more. It could continue to go down some more. But I expect over the next 5 to 6 months, we're going to see a run in PayPal, and it's liable to get back up to that 300 plus mark. And so, I just like the company. I like the stability that they've been around for a long time. I think that, I also think that with the way that government and things are going, financials seem to do well when we're talking about like interest rate hikes and tapering and all this stuff that's about to start happening. Like, I could see PayPal being kind of a beneficiary of that, making better money on their money with the interest rates, etc. And I just think PayPal at these prices right now, is a steal. And I think that, for those of you looking longer term, I think that there is a lot of upside to PayPal, even if it continues down a little further from here. Like, you can't time it perfectly. You can't time these stocks perfectly. You just have to judge whether or not you think, based on your research, that stock is a lot lower than it should be. And PayPal and T-Mobile both, I feel like, are a lot lower than they should be. So that's where I've put this chunk of money I had. I still have, I don't know, $1,300 or something like that in cash, looking for another opportunity. And, I want to just say that all these stocks that are running up right now and that have been running up, a lot of people do things backwards. Their brain sees it going up and they're like, oh, I got to buy this one. But the object is not to buy at the top. The object is to buy at the bottom. Okay? You want to buy these stocks on the big dips, not in the big mountaintops. You don't want to, like Tesla. Now is not the time to be buying Tesla. It just went on a huge run. You know what I mean? Now is the time to be looking for the stocks that are beat down and unnecessarily, like stocks that are trading right now for lower valuations than you think they're going to be in a few months. And PayPal and T-Mobile both fit that bill to me. There are some others, but the others, like ChargePoint, for example, has just kind of gone on a run, and it's come back down a little bit, and then it's back green today, but it's kind of up. I think it's got a lot more room to run, but it would have been better if you caught it when I was talking about it a couple weeks ago or whatever it was, when it was at 19. That's what I mean. If you look in hindsight, when I was saying that looked attractive at 19, now what's happened? It's gone back up to 25. And if you would have bought now when it's 25, there's a lot more of a chance that it goes back and does another dip. You got to wait for the low points to buy. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I bought PayPal, and that's why I bought T-Mobile. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything else that's beat down right now, especially more stable stuff, because right now I'm kind of being a little bit careful with all of the government shutdown stuff going on and tapering and interest rates. I'm kind of trying to be a little more careful right now, because we don't really know what's going to happen over the next month or so with the debt ceiling and shutting the government down and all that stuff. Now, I will say that a lot of times when that does happen, a lot of it has already, people have seen it coming and it's been priced in. And a lot of times when there's a government shutdown, the market will rally. But I'm not going to say that that's a definite. Do your own research, you know. I'm still sitting on some cash, like I say. And we start getting a lot of talk about government, this and that, and government shutdown and debt ceiling and all that stuff starts tanking the market again. I'm going to be looking for another opportunity of something that falls. Now, you know, I know that a lot of you guys on my channel already know all this stuff, okay? But for those of you who don't, buy when things are red. Look for the things that have been trending down that shouldn't be. Things that have been trending down for reasons that are temporary, reasons that are not a big deal, that everybody's blown out of proportion. You have to use your brain. You know, you can't trust the analysts. Like, the analysts are saying to buy T-Mobile, okay? They're saying it's a strong buy or whatever, all right? And I agree with them. But with PayPal, a lot of the stuff I'm seeing says don't buy. I don't agree with that, okay? I don't agree with it. I think that there's a lot of those analysts saying that. They want to get a cheaper price. They want you not to buy so they can buy cheaper. You know, I don't, you can't always trust these analysts and these talking heads. They're no smarter than you or I, okay? They don't have a crystal ball any more than I do. And a lot of times there are ulterior motives to these articles that they publish, particularly when you're talking about short reports, short seller reports and stuff. Those, you can almost never trust what they're saying. But even with the analysts and the stuff that you're looking at, the articles in Webull and here and there, you know, even with that stuff, you can't really trust what you're saying. You have what they're saying. You have to use your brain and determine, hey, does that make sense? Or does that sound like a bunch of bullshit? Use your own brain. Do your own research. You know, this is not financial advice, but again, I think that PayPal and T-Mobile both are fantastic buys right here where they are. And you should do some research and decide if there's something that you think you might want to get into. But I can see pretty massive upside just in the next 6 months rather than looking at a 5-year outlook or whatever. And that's what I try to look for. And that's what I think these two stocks are. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button and like the video. See you next time.